Hello, I'm Matthaeus. Today we're going to be discussing the higher self and how that, and okay, I'm going to start off with a poem first. It's called Living in the Regeneration. How are we going to weather this ride? This is inspired by an interview with Albert Weber and Robert McWilliams on exopolitics.com. This was a quote from the conversation that triggered a poem idea. So it's called Living in the Regeneration. How are we going to weather this ride? We've lived and we've died, and now we're revived. It's a great time to be alive. Trust me, I know. I study words of the wise. When you understand love, you'll discover the prize, which is calling to help others. Which is the calling to help others open their eyes. They mentioned something interesting too on this interview about how we're possibly the receptors of thought rather than the generators of thought, because as in physical form, if you receive the thought, you can act it out physically. You are the physical representation of your higher self, and your higher self can send you ideas. And so I think we're receptors of thought rather than generators of thought. We have a calling to transfer or receive messages, ideas into the physical realm on behalf of our higher selves. So I think it's like a team effort, and did you just do good and help people out and share your ideas and skills, because the system is set up in a way that you're literally like selling your soul when you're getting paid for your skills, and it shouldn't be that way. We should all be sharing our skills together. That's what we're doing here, practicing what we preach. Because you want to be a good representation of your higher self, and that's important. And I believe that the pigs are aware of this, and hope they can catch those who are not aware of this and steal their ideas of those who are unique with patents. They also seek to play the role of God and use the message to project their malevolent ideas on, making them think it's their own will. The collective consciousness must be awakened so they can help us establish a utopia on Earth, defeating the wicked Draco-reptilian manted greys. Love is the highest vibration and will prevail above the lower dimensionals. This is Yeshua's calling to action. These higher dimensionals take care of themselves and turn it into a big mess. And I'm tired of it, and it's time to demand free energy, and do everything that we can to get the word out there that there are other options besides what's just presented to us. Okay, I have an article I was going to read. It's called What Does the Law of One's Harvest Really Mean? It's from in5d.com by Greg Prescott. There is a big difference between being one of the sorts versus being harvested like an ear of corn in order to bring yourself to the next level of spiritual progression. According to the law of one, Ra is claimed to be from the confederation of planets and in the service of the infinite creator, and the books give an outline of a New Age description of evolution of consciousness. The concept of soul, spirit, essence is said to be reincarnating through different levels or densities. First density being mineral consciousness, second density being vegetable consciousness and animal consciousness, and third density being human life self-reflective consciousness. The book argues that the goal of the soul is to polarize in one of two different directions. Positive polarization labeled as service to others, through identifying with others empathetically, or negative polarization labeled as service to self, through separating the self from others. Souls are said to harvest and proceed to the next level once they are properly polarized. Ultimately, there should be only two laws: love everyone and respect everything. I firmly believe the law of one was channeled with honesty by Carla Ruckert as the archons who keep us living in fear. We're using Carla as a host for the harvesting of souls. Much of the information is quite fascinating, but once the rose-colored glasses are removed, then what are we really seeing? Service to self versus service to others. Many people within this genre may feel guilty about spending time on themselves versus giving time and energy to others, but this is an unhealthy point of view. Try to think of your spiritual growth as being part of a team sport like bowling. Each person tries to do their best while helping the team. Ultimately, we should begin with loving ourselves and allowing that light to flow outwards. Additionally, there should be a balance between service to self versus service to others. So don't feel badly if you're meditating and trying to better yourself, because in the end, everyone wins. As above, so below. In this fractured universe, the premise of as above, so below is a prime tenet. While it can also be interpreted as within, so without, it can be additionally viewed. As long as there's someone above you, there will always be people below you. We are equals in the infinite creator source who stands in the light of truth and love. This is all part of a hierarchical system designed to keep us enslaved through subservience, control, and conformity. We are taught that we need this current system in order to prevent chaos, yet those who are above us know how to control the masses through fear. Even at the highest level of Freemasonry, their motto is Orb Ab Chaos, which means order of chaos. In an ideal society, order would emanate from truth and love, but as we've seen, everything has been turned backwards and upside down. By acquiescing to a harvest and being subordinate to higher forms of consciousness, we are still trapped within a system of control and dominance, albeit a more socially acceptable one that we already live in. The question is, what is the trade-off and what does a true harvest really mean? Granted, there are benevolent extraterrestrials who want to see us succeed as a global community, but they respect our free will and are not supposed to physically interfere with our progressions. Yet, in this corrupted, fractured universe, many universal laws have been cast aside as we have been tricked time and time again into entering a system of reincarnation where our souls are cycled back into the matrix in order for those who feed off our fears to be nourished. It was never supposed to be like this. Our own forms of hierarchy bad. In certain situations, a hierarchy-type program would be needed, such as relationships between parents and children, teachers and students, or even pets with their owners, but in most cases, with the exception of pets, the learner would become the teacher. In a traditional hierarchical system, the intention is forced through subservience, control, and conformity. The difference between these relationships and the traditional hierarchical system is the energy of love behind the intention, which is to help others become all they are capable of being while respecting their strengths and perceived weaknesses. Ideally, all systems of hierarchy would be eliminated and replaced with various forms of education that facilitates the learner's needs. Who will be harvested? The law of one states, questioner, am I to understand that the harvest will occur in the year 2011, or will it spread? Ra, I am Ra. This is an approximation. We have stated we have difficulty with your time-space. This is an appropriate, probable, possible time-space nexus for harvest. Those who are not in incarnation at this time will be included in the harvest. According to David Wilcock, Scott Mandelker and I figured out what the law of one really said. Within its own system is all are harvested regardless of progress. The question is where you go once you pop through the worldwide quantum leap. Do you hang out in the astral planes for 100 to 150 years and holographically recreate what you already had, or do you start climbing the staircase of ascension? At that point you have a choice. Again, we are all harvested regardless of progress when the Earth moves out of 3D vibrations at the end of a cycle, a continuous event. Ra's answer is very important because once we know when the planet has moved through the useful part of the third dimension, then we also know when we all are harvested regardless of progress. To me, this does not sound like a free will choice. Do you really want to be harvested? Imagine a fleet of UFOs who come to this planet for harvest. The extraterrestrials tell you that you are a service to others person and are ready for your next level of spirituality. They promise to bring you to either your planet of origin, Pleiades, Lyra, Arcturus, Headache, or to a fifth dimensional planet where you will no longer be held down in this third dimensional reality. Would you willingly be harvested like an ear of corn? Would you leave because in your mind anywhere must be better than here? We have lost our connection with the infinite creator source who stands in the light of truth and love. While we all carry that spark of divinity, the flame has significantly dwindled as those in power keep us perpetually living in fear. Additionally, many people will give away what little power they have to religion, governments, money, etc., and will refuse to see how their power has been hijacked by these controlling entities. The central character in the Law of One is Ra. Ra is a sun god, and also known as Amun-Ra. Or there's also another one, Marduk too. As known as Amun-Ra, according to Robert Morning Sky's research, the Ra lineage eventually became the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, Shields, Rothschild families. How much do you trust the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds? How much do you trust Ra? In the Sumerian text, Ra is known as Marduk, Enki's firstborn son. The etymology of Marduk is as follows: Mar, Mr, of Duke, dog star Sirius. Marduk, the son of a Syrian god. In chapter 18 of the 14 tablets of Enki, it is stated, at the first harvest there is a celebration, and the two twin earthling men make their offerings to the kings by two sons. No matter which origin you choose, Ra will always be a false god, and is by no means the infinite creator source who stands in the light of truth and love. What does the harvest really mean? To be harvested can never be a good thing. When you look at Ra and see how subservience, control, and conformity are always hidden behind his intention of love and being of service to others, you get a good idea of where this is heading. In all areas of our lives, we are being controlled while losing our connection to the infinite creator source, who stands in the light of truth and love. We perpetually give away our power to those who will gladly take it through the same measures, whether it be through religion, government, or any other form of control and dominance. Human residence in the harvest. Recently, the human residence SR went up 8.90, the highest I've seen since I've been watching it. The SR is the resonance or heartbeat of Mother Earth, and has been since I've been watching it. It is the highest I've been since I've been watching it. The SR is the resonance or heartbeat of Mother Earth, and has been at 7.83 HD for what many people believe to be thousands of years. This is proof that our planet is raising her vibration, and she is giving us the opportunity to raise our vibration with her. Possible scenarios. Here is a very possible scenario. You agree to be part of the harvest with no guarantees of anything except what they promise you, or stay here while Mother Earth raises her vibration and eliminates the Archons who have kept us enslaved for so long. This is what Dolores Cannon is talking about when she says the Earth will be separated into two Earths. According to Cannon, those who raise their vibrations in conjunction to Mother Earth will be part of the new Earth, where you could physically wake up one day and see a world like you've never seen before, without the hierarchical control we have now. Dolores is a hypnotherapist who specializes in past life regressions. For the past 20 years, she has been receiving messages from entities through her clients about what we can expect in the very near future. The following is an excerpt from Dolores Cannon's Convoluted Universe Book 2, from the chapter The New Earth. They have emphasized that this has happened down through time to certain individuals and small groups of people. But what makes it unique now is that it will be the first time an entire planet will make the shift into another dimension. Let's imagine you decide to leave. Even if you leave this planet, you're still part of the system. The good news is that Earth is one of the few organically sentient beings in the galaxy, so staying with her could very well be the exit out of this system of control and domination. According to Greg Braden's research, we are only utilizing 22 of the 64 codons in our DNA. Imagine if the raising of frequency between Mother Earth in conjunction with the Schumann resonance was the only thing stopping our DNA from fully activating. If this were the case, then those who leave would still have 32 codons locked and would not be part of DNA activation here on Earth. Conversely, there is no guarantee that leaving would be any better than what we already have. It could possibly be worse. If this scenario plays out, then those who choose to stay here would not only have a DNA upgrade, but Earth may even move herself out of the system of control. Remember, all possibilities